Alrighty, hello again out there. We're on part 106, and we're gonna try something a little different today, real quick. Music is off, and so you might hear Minecraft music, but as we just saw, there is in fact no music in here. So what's going on? Well, just got the entire Minecraft OST open, another tab. So hopefully we at least have something going. Doesn't need to be anything too major. It just needs to be like something. And considering it's Minecraft music while I'm playing Minecraft, it shouldn't be like a problem, you know? Like the copyright claims like you automated, I can always dispute them. They said it's fine, so we'll just stick with this for the foreseeable future. Please let me know if it's too loud. It's already getting a little bit too much for me. I need to maybe turn some stuff down a little bit. I don't want it to be, I kind of just want it to be there, you know? Let's see. How's A Bean? Welcome. I think that should do it though. And give me a minute. I still gotta mess around with some of this stuff a little bit. There we go, it should be okay. I can always turn it down on the actual tab too, but that should be fine. Yeah, more mountain work. And we have one and a little bit more shulker boxes left to do. So this will be our last dirt layer, and then we go up into moss on the fourth layer. So let's just go ahead and get started with that. And we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a little weird because I'm going to have to kind of follow this around my own way. But it should still be okay. Let's just try pillaring up and we'll figure it out from here. Now we want to do this a little bit different considering we don't have any actual ground to base this on, so it's going to be a little weird, but it will get done. It's just going to take some time. But yeah, sorry I didn't stream yesterday. I just got kind of tired and I didn't really want to do a whole lot. And then also my classes just started up yesterday too, so I had to go attend to those a little bit. And then today I just went to the grocery store, so... And then after this stream, I got some classwork I want to try and get started on, and well, if not today, it'll be tomorrow on Wednesday. But either way, still gotta try and do something. There we go. So now all it should be a matter of is we just bring it down like a little bit. So I don't have to do a whole lot. We just need to bring it down. I'll have to check the YouTube playlist after this to see how it goes, but should be fine. It'll go through the whole OST, so I need to probably like compile it separately on my own time so we don't have any of the music based tracks in there, like especially the lore ones, because yeah, they're cool for lore, but not to listen to. So let's go ahead and see what else we got in a couple of seconds, and you know, I'll get all this kind of stuff ironed out later on, but it should be fine. Here we go. Yeah, it's fine. Alrighty, good. Alrighty, so now all we need to do is go like a leg up a little bit. Just so that way we start doing all of this, yeah. Hit F3, just so that way I should be able to look up and see where the last block is. A little weird, but we'll get it. Making a bamboo farm. Imagine. I really should upgrade mine to go into my sugarcane farm, but I just have not gotten around to it, but I really should. When all the machinery is there, I just need to move it in is all, which isn't even difficult. Yeah, that 1.19 delay, no clue what that's about, but they're always like, unless like something very big happens, they tend to not like delay those, and they've gone ahead and delayed it, so something big must have happened. If I had to guess personally, it would probably have to do with like the chat stuff, because there's been like a huge amount of pushback from that. But at the same time, there's never a guarantee that it is like, something like that. But if I had to guess, I'd say, but maybe not. I don't think they found some like great big bug with it or nothing that they didn't like sniff out during a release candidate, but we'll find out. Yeah, we're on day 1058 for today, and well, we're doing more mountain work as I've said in the title, so hey, that ought to be something to not look forward to. It's just simple and it's boring, but it will get done, and it has to get done at some point. And the longer I put it off, the worse it gets in terms of, I have to dedicate more time to make up more progress and effort, and then it just is a weird, like, bad cycle. So it's better to just put in a little bit of effort each day and then eventually get it done over the course of the next couple of weeks or so. Same with my schoolwork that I still have to attend to. Which actually, I've got my first exam, funny enough, in like 3 days. I can either take it on June 30th or July 1st, so I'm planning on taking on the 30th, but I have the 1st as like an extra day if absolutely necessary. However, I'd like to not do anything that day at all because the new Stranger Things like season finale is coming out, and I quite literally would like to do nothing just so I could go watch it for, a couple hours. Will I do that? Probably not, but I'd like to. Especially it's like 4.5 hours, so I just don't have to do work that day because then I'll probably go watch that and then go stream. Maybe look over some stuff in the night, but I got to get better at having an actual proper like fixed time to do this kind of schoolwork. Which I'm thinking about doing it like all like early in the morning because I tend to do a lot of stuff later at night with like friends and all that. So and like streaming too, I tend to do that a little bit later in the afternoon. So the morning is pretty much the only like really good time that I have to do some schoolwork without having to compromise like anything that I want. 'Cause I still want to actually like go and do stuff for myself and have fun and not just like focus on schoolwork or getting all this other like boring shit done. I want to actually enjoy my life too and do stuff. So it is important to get it done. I'm getting really close to my degree. Got another year and a half, and I don't want to fuck it up now. 'Cause I'm in too deep at this point to really just quit. Well, not exactly. I could absolutely technically quit, but it's just a waste of money at that point because it is something I will be using, and there's no reason to not try and get it. Yeah, I've heard this part of the OST, but because it's from 2011, that's why. Old. I don't want to go through by hand and dispute like every single copyright claim on these, so because all it is just like a monetization thing. But considering VODs don't really get monetized and like I'm literally nowhere near it, I'm not gonna worry about it. It don't affect my YouTube channel or nothing, and since it's in game, Minecraft music, I shouldn't have any issues with it on Twitch either. But we'll find out. Alrighty, there we go. So that's one of the harder parts done. And then all it is we just followed it along like we've been doing. Just to make sure this is lined up correctly, we'll go up a little bit. Yep. Cool. Alrighty. But you can see here is going to be where our first plateau area is. So we would end up filling this whole thing flat with dirt, making all this completely dark. So we will have to light all of this stuff up first before we cover it. And then we'll also have to keep in mind too that normally there's that peak there, but by the time it gets up to here, this is where the new peak is. So we'll have to slope it up a little bit, but it'll be somewhat gradual. So, but these end pieces are really good for making these like nice like slopes since they're on the edges. So I'll have to figure that out after enough time, but it should be okay. I don't see it being too big of an issue. All right, yeah, let's just get to it again. I need to also actively start working on the sphere again, but I haven't done that in ages, so I need to start on it again like in the mornings. It's just gonna be weird. Probably won't happen until like the summer semester ends, and then when I get back into fall, things go back to a little bit normal, so I get a little bit more breathing room, but who knows, we'll see. If I get some of my work done really in the morning for studying and all that, then I could probably just have like another like 2 hour long morning stream each day for this sphere. Who knows, we'll figure it out. I'm gonna check to see if this is too loud. The answer is yes, actually, quite a little bit. I'm gonna maybe tone it down just a slight little bit. Although that might be hard, apparently. Like, geez. Might be a little difficult. I only got some loud points, but it shouldn't be too terrible. Now I'm not even sure if it's audible at all. Barely. It has some loud parts, but the new song should be coming in. I suppose it'd be fine. Alrighty. Well, if it is too loud, just let me know, but otherwise I can't really tell too well. Not personally, at least. And we'll have to go out and mine some dirt again here soon enough, so forward to that, I guess. Oh, I know what I can do. Hang on. I think if I open up the task manager, right, there should be a way for me to open up system sounds. Oh my god, it's perfect. Oh geez, yes, let's go. Good, alrighty. I just had to turn Firefox down individual to everything. But looks like that ought to help at least. Get rid of that. And let me go ahead and find my way back here. There we go. Alrighty. So hopefully that does it a little bit better for me, but either way, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Now I believe our shulker farm is still functional. It is. We can see it looking around in there. That way should be pretty good. Yeah, I'll have to. I think if I reorient it where some of the water is, I can condense the sugarcane farm a good bit and then leave the back portion for bamboo. So we'll maybe try doing that after this third layer today just to help kind of do something different, you know? Shouldn't really be too hard, and I want to change any existing infrastructure. But it'll be good because I can actually actively farm bamboo when I need it. Only a little cursed, but either way, it looks like we're doing pretty good in terms of we don't have any iron golems spawning in weird spots. We don't have any interference with the shulkers, which is some of the main things as well. But you know, we'll figure it out. It seems like it should be okay. The only one that might not be okay is a manual shulker farm, but at the same time, that thing's kind of like decommissioned, considering I don't really have a big need for it right now. So we'll kind of leave it be. Now we'll go ahead and loop back, see what we can do. Now the other thing too I'm considering is I also want to work on like pulling some of like the better like songs from the Minecraft OST and then also mixing them with a couple of like Nintendo songs. Don't have anything specific in mind, but I just have to make sure I don't get into like any like weird like, you know, big boy trouble or whatever, you know. That's the main thing. That's why it's taken me so long to actually get a hold of something like decent. But you know, once I get that squared away, it should be a lot better. But for the most part, the Minecraft OST, supposedly the Undertale and Deltarune OSTs are like very safe as well. Because Toby Fox doesn't really tend to send out like stuff like that as well. So that's good at the very least. So we'll probably see a little bit more of that, and I'll have to double check a couple of Nintendo tracks, but expect to see stuff from like you know, the Mario Galaxy series, maybe a little bit of like Zelda thrown in there, maybe a little bit of Kirby. Who knows? We'll figure it out. I'm open to suggestions as long as they're not like notorious for like being like struck or something like that. And anything with lyrics for the most part too, generally from what I can tell, is like pretty much a no-go. Just because, you know, the actual singer also has their shit protected too, for what it's worth. So things from like the Persona games, for example, you know, which are good, but probably couldn't have those on stream unless I was actually playing Persona, which I won't be, so, you know. Anything with lyrics probably out of the question, but if it's from video game OSTs, and as long as it's not like a very well-known one or like an orchestrated one, like the Dragon Quest XI like OST is like infamous for being a pain in the ass, especially with the symphonic like renditions of all their songs. So stuff like that's out of the question, and you know, just normal video game OST stuff is pretty good. So maybe from anything. If you got a suggestion, just let me know, and I'll look into it at least. 'Cause I just want to try and get something diverse but relatively safe, and then, you know. Okay, we got music playing from like the nether dimension technically, so. And that is it on dirt. So we're gonna have to go out and get more dirt, but we have gotten a nice chunk of the third layer done with only a single box, so that's very good to see. So like I've said, that's getting a lot better. I think 4 boxes would actually finish the whole wraparound for the third layer, and then we would have to get a little bit more for the little plateau bits at the very end, because we'll also have to be making artificial slopes for them as well. But for the most part, a very respectable amount just got put in. I'll take it, you know? Alright, we got some, can't do any LA duplication right now, obviously, since, you know, 1.19 is not going to be a thing for a little bit longer. I'm in no rush for it, personally, I just wanted it to be ready when it was ready, so. Well, in terms of having everything else ready with the LAs when it was time. Oh, we got it when it's ready. I think today too we'll work on like after we're done with the third layer, we'll probably go ahead and like redo the sugarcane farm. I'll go install like an ender chest and a couple of normal like commodities up at the guardian farm, and then we'll put in some like anvils and stuff like that, and then we'll go make a ton of like backup gears and whatnot. I'll also have to get a hold of some other things as well, but either way, it should be nice. And we'll have to consider getting ready for the gold farm soon, because I want to do that at some point. You might even be able to build that today if I'm really feeling adventurous, who knows. But either way, I know I want to get the third layer done, maybe start on the fourth, depending on how I feel. Either way, not too worried about it. But I know there's like safe stuff you can do generally, like Minecraft remixes are known like a very like well-known one. For example, like the typical like dubstep remixes you kind of hear that are like, well, they're half lo-fi, half dubstep to some extent. There's like they're like softer sounds, but everybody does that, and I don't want to just do that. But then again, everybody does Nintendo music, but it's good. So who knows? I just don't want it to feel the exact same as like a bunch of other streamers. You know what I mean? If you've seen one person playing like hardcore, you've seen them all, and I don't want it to feel like even worse when it comes to like the music and whatnot specifically. So I'd like to think mine is a little bit more different in terms of like the things that I build are a lot more approachable for like, you know, relatively more casual players or whatever. But at the same time, it's, you know, definitely up there. It's gonna get more complex as time goes on, and I get bored and I start needing new things to do. But none of these things are inherently complex that I do. They just take time. So as long as you've got enough time, you know, you can build pretty much anything. No matter how complicated it is, you just need the time for it, and well, I got plenty of it for right now, so that's good. And yep, we got a ton of dirt to harvest. We've actually nearly cleaned out this entire island already, or a huge chunk of it. I mean, especially when you consider most of this was already dirt, but it's all gone now because I've wiped it away clean. I mean, here we've got some like lapis and coal and, you know, just some weird shit, but yeah, there we go. I mean, this whole thing is cleaned out of dirt. This used to all be stone, so that's getting kind of weird. Well, even, I think we'll try like flooding it too with water at some point, because, you know, I do have a water bucket on me still. So we'll try like reconnecting the ocean through these stony bits, and then, you know, kind of make a smaller set of like stone islands as a result. Which that ought to look at least cool, for what it's worth. Especially if I had some depth to it, but... I'll keep an eye out for any drowned with tridents too, because I still want to pick one of those up at some point, but, you know, I doubt we'll get one today. Because if I want to get a trident, I'm gonna have to go out of my way to go find them, and if I go find one, I'm gonna want to go find all three of them that I want for, you know, all the unique enchantments, so... And maybe, you know, we'll try expanding the villager trading hall when we end up doing the whole, like, complete overhaul on it. That could be cool. Just so that way it's a little bit easier for me to get all the, you know, crossbow enchants, and then we can start targeting some of those weird, like, niche enchantments again. Like the turn a villager into a witch one, or, you know, 2 birds with 1 arrow kind of achievement, that kind of stuff. But we'll look into it, but... I just want to kind of build and just take it relatively easy and not have to do any, like, the extremely boring, like, tedious grinding shit that I used to do. Mainly with the, and when I say grinding stuff, this is grinding, but I mean more so with villagers and things like that. You know, things that I don't exactly get a whole lot of input in terms of how it has to be built. There's a specific way that stuff has to be done, and it's very hard to deviate from it without it becoming, like, you know, less good or less efficient. But now that I've got all the iron in the world to spare, so I can actually store them in minecarts, we should have a little bit of a better time compared to what I used to do. Especially once we get that gold farm, then we won't be bottlenecking at powered rails anymore, and, like, you know, we could probably completely redesign the whole damn thing and have, like, an extra 200 plus slots for, like, more villagers, depending on how I do it. Make sure to, the chat bot should be working. Yep, looks good. Alrighty, cool. Then when I go to class on Thursday, I gotta go talk to somebody about my housing problems, because, you know, don't have any secured housing right now, and I need to go check up on that, because, you know, I'm gonna kind of be homeless in about a month if I'm not careful, so... As in by homeless, I mean not to move back with my mom, and even then that might not be quite as quick as I'd like. So hopefully I get that squared away. It shouldn't be too bad, I hope. Otherwise they just tell me to go fuck myself, which they might, because it's, you know, when it comes to housing, they're a little bit strict with it, so... Alright, it should be one entire shulker box. There we go. That is shulker box number 1. And we need 3 more. And we can go back. And go finish up the 3rd layer, hopefully. That might be a thunder. That would be fun. Yeah, so it's currently raining outside right now, so you might hear an ominous amount of thunder or lightning, like that. You could definitely hear that one if I had to guess, but either way, it's not too big of a deal. But it might get a little loud sometimes. Alright, there we go. That's most of this destroyed for shits and giggles. We'll have to reconnect it into there a little bit better at some point. then I also need to get the good old bed out real quick. We'll just do that, and we'll set the ender chest down to just to have it. But we've kind of cleaned out all the dirt for the most part from this island, so there's not a whole bunch of it left, unfortunately, that I can steal. Or at least from this section, so we'll have to go somewhere else for it. I kind of want to leave like that very big one alone, so we won't be messing with it too much at all. Let's maybe put some more stuff away. There we go. That one might be even louder. Who knows? Yeah, a little bit loud, not too bad. Ah, dang. Imagine summoning the dragon. I gotta actually resummon the dragon too, honestly. I haven't done that in ages. As in, I haven't done it at all, like, period. I don't think I've ever resummoned it before. It's not really too hard, and it's not too hard of a fight, but I gotta do it for the achievement. I think you can automate that stuff too, right, to some extent? Can't remember. Alright, this is kind of a waste of time doing all this for what it's worth, considering how much of a pain in the ass water is, so we'll leave it be for now, but we'll come back to that a little later, I guess. We should actually maybe pack up some of this too. Because we're kind of running out of dirt, as in we ran out of dirt here on this whole island, so that's kind of cursed. But that's alright. We have another one right here that's pretty prime for the taking, so we'll just take it. There we go. And reorganize all this. Dang, that's crazy. Oh yeah, I'm in Florida. I've been in Florida. But it's thundering pretty bad. Not too bad for now. It's not even a lot of rain as far as I can tell. It's just thunder and lightning. Chicken lore. That's crazy. And Florida is fun for what it's worth, but it's not too good. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's raining across half the state or something, but especially with it being rainy season and all. And rainy season's nice, but it, you know, it's only nice when there's not all that thunder and lightning. And also when I don't have to go out to go do anything, which luckily I got all my groceries earlier, so I'm safe, but... Oh. Nearly 2 shulker boxes out of 4, so about halfway there. We're at 1060 now, right? 1060, pretty sure. 1062, so actually, no, we missed it by quite a little bit. But that's alright, I suppose. Not like it matters too much. There's something cool to take note of. Alrighty, nearly 3, so we are getting pretty close, luckily. We still have a hell of a way to go, but we are getting there. We should be at about 4 1/3, or 3 1/3, not 4 1/3, of shulker boxes of dirt, so we should be wrapping up our gathering for today, and yeah, hopefully it goes too well. Shouldn't really be able to fuck anything up here, but there's another shulker, and there is about half of our fourth, so just another full inventory, and we ought to be set to go. That's very good. Just another little bit, so that's good. Alrighty, we're nearly done here. That should do it, so we'll go ahead and run all this back into that box, and then we'll go ahead and fly back, go to sleep, and then go fix up my shovel real quick. And then we'll go ahead and get started with the placing for today. That's good. 4 whole shulker boxes of dirt. There we go, lovely. And we'll just sleep back at my base, so I'm not gonna worry about it here. There we go. Push that, and we hit our F3 menu. We're heading towards positive X, that is correct. Ouch. Let's see the wheat field glowing up here. Here we go. Alrighty. Oh, we'll go ahead and take a little bit of a breather and just go get our tools fixed up here real quick. I'll take some time to go get something to drink too for a little bit. I'm a little thirsty, and then we can just get started again. Oh, real quick, we're gonna go ahead and turn down the hostiles again. We'll have them on a little bit, but we don't need too much here. Go ahead and step into here. We're doing pretty good on prismatic shards and whatnot, so that's at least good to see. And crystals as well, so sea lanterns should be in abundance. We get the odd pufferfish too, so we are able to make water breathing potions as well. Are you still building that bamboo farm or something else entirely? Unless you fight the Ender Dragon again, which I still have to do. Oh, we got 120 in here. It is the Ender Dragon again. That's fair. I never had too much of an issue with it, because even without an elytra, I never found it to be too terrible. I mean, like, if you get perfect gear, you literally have nothing to worry about, to be quite honest. There we go. Alright, we got to level 63, that's pretty neat, and all of our tools are fixed up. Elytra's probably going to lose a little bit of durability here in a moment, but not too big of a deal. And we can just go ahead and head back and continue with what we were doing. Only one durability, that's good. Oh, the crystals aren't too bad. You know, you can just get 4 end crystals and like place them around, and then as long as you don't like spam right click, it's not too big of a deal. Now, if you're talking about breaking them, on the other hand, like when you're actually fighting the dragon, then like you can either just shoot him with your bow like normal before you had an elytra, or like with an elytra. You know, it's just as long as you don't like swoop in like really hard, you honestly don't have a lot to worry about. Or you could always, you know, use, like, you could always swoop in with an elytra, place, like, a bucket of water, and then, like, just swim up it a little bit, and then just break it with, like, a, you know, bow, you know, when you're a lot closer to it, so it's not as hard. But it's up to you. It's never really too terrible. Well, I mean, if you, like, are you just trying to break it, or, because if so, you could just, like, shoot it, or leave. Or unless you're trying to like steal one of the ones that spawned on the actual like end crystal, or on the obsidian towers rather. Oh, I said end crystal there. But if you're just trying to break it, just ignore it until you get some stuff to shoot it with. Oh, pushing it. Oh, see, well, as long as you don't like punch it, you know, you got nothing to worry about. So simply don't hit it. If only it were that easy, but counts. Yeah, you don't really have too much to worry about as long as you don't make some major mistake, but it's hard to do it then. I wouldn't worry about it too much. But hopefully these 4 shulker boxes should be enough to get the whole 3rd layer done, and then either start work on or complete the flat areas for this layer. And then I'll have to go get some more if I want to do like custom slopes and whatnot. But those slopes that we're going to be making, because the next layer is going to be moss. Now it'll be dirt as a placeholder, but we will be like putting in some moss blocks like in a large like strip, so that way I know that's a moss layer. And then when it's time, we'll just bone meal it all the way around like this whole ring, so that way, you know, this next layer is all moss and it fades into this one a little bit. And then the slopes on the ends will have like dirt on the bottom part, and then they'll slope up into moss, like, you know, naturally looking. So that way it's not just some abrupt like transition or nothing. We can leave it, we can have it be abrupt for like a little bit, but you know, that'll be like one of the finer things we cover too in terms of like, you know, making it look good and all that shit. Is we'll have to use, you know, actual good blending, because things need to be blended together, not just an abrupt stop, which they can be to start with, but that's one of those like things I need to work on near the very end if I really want to. I can work on it sooner, but I should, you know, still work on it. I'm thinking about it real quick. I'm gonna check and see what the 1.19 like delay is all about. I'm not quite sure why they deleted it. I know they did, but I wonder if they said why. Not particularly, no. Yeah, they don't really have any fucking reason why they wanted to delay it. They just kind of did. Huh. Oh well. Nothing official on it, so that's a shame. Kinda wish they did say something about it, but it don't matter. We're at Y108 now, and remember ocean level is like 63 or so, I'd like to say. So we've got a nice 40 blocks up, and we're about on par with the tip of our bamboo farm. It'll start looking real grand once we get past the very peak of our mountain, which is about like 150, I want to say. Because then by then we'll have like a nice number of like the different shapes and like shadings in and whatnot. Well, not the shapes. We'll have a lot of the gradients in place, and then we'll start working on the stone by like that layer. So that's, you know, about the height that we want. The very last layer needs to be stone, and then it'll have like snow like capping it on the top with some like frozen ice or packed ice, I think it is. And then you know, I still need to pick out certain like paired blocks to go with the cobblestone and mossy cobblestone. And what I mean by that specifically is, and I've talked about it a little bit in the past, so in order to like texture these things like good, I kind of want like each layer to have their own like distinct like blocks that they're paired with the texture. So take the dirt ones for example, to help like texture like this stuff to help break up the all dirt that's here. We can use packed mud and like large like splotches and even like veins, and then we can do it the same thing with coarse dirt and again like large splotches and like a couple of veins going around and up and through, on top of like all the new shapes that we'll be making as well. And for the moss and then the moss with glow lichen, we can use like red terracotta, normal terracotta, other things I can't quite think of right now, but things of that color that help kind of contrast it or like help break up like the solid green that's there. So like maybe things like green concrete or like green terracotta might actually be fucking useful, as my cactus farm might not be a waste finally. And then I don't know what to do for the mossy cobble and cobblestone. I don't want to have anything too dark at that layer. So something like it's a darker gray might be perfect, but as for what that is, that could maybe be like basalt or something. That could be good. Um, Let's see here, what else do we have? And I mean, basalt could be pretty good, but the other thing I could definitely try too is, well, I don't even know, honestly. We'll figure that one out. But that's the only like kind of pair of blocks I don't know what I want to use to help contrast them and to help like texture them with. But for the andesite and stone layers, which are again near the very, very peaks of the mountains, I want to use deep slate and cobbled deep slate because I like how they look, and then like, you know, they are like a good contrast as well. But I just don't want to constantly use it for 4 layers. Like 2 layers is the most I'll use it for. So mossy cobble and cobblestone layers have got to like get their own distinct thing, you know. Which I don't know what that is yet, but I do know I want it to be a thing. But I don't know what it could be. Because I'll have to look through like all the different gray blocks. You might be able to do something with like dead coral as well on like those layers. That could look really cool if it's done correctly. So we'd have to maybe give it a try, but we'll see about that. I'm not 100% certain, but we'll see. I got plenty of time to figure this stuff out. I'm just putting ideas out there at the very least. So, but I need something good to pair them with. Or maybe it doesn't have to be a specific color, but it could be like ores, for example. Like all the different types of ores that I can accumulate might fit in fairly well there. And like some rough like splotches, so we'll consider that too. Or I can switch around the deep slate stuff to be on the cobblestone layers, and then the ore stuff to be near the very peaks with some of the ice and snow. Yeah, because they get ice and snow at the very peaks, so I might be able to move around some of the deep slate stuff to be on the cobblestone layers instead of on like the regular stone layers. I don't know if what I'm saying makes a whole lot of sense. It does to me, but not, you'll see what I mean at some point. But I'm just kind of spitballing ideas out there just to hope something sticks. Hopefully it does. Oh, I've only got a Ryzen 2600. I had a 3600, but no, that's still good though. Oh, let's see here. What else we got? No mob spawns. Should be safe to keep going. Alrighty. Keep going, we will. There we go, got another nice section of it done. And we've almost run out of only one shulker box, and we've gotten probably another like 8th or something done. Not to say, because we already started on a little bit of it, but we're making very good headway with this now that we're starting to like have to use less and less for all this shit. Which is very good to see. That means we might be able to get a couple layers done per day instead of just maybe 1 or 1.5. Man, oh, how long it's already been. It's been already an hour, that's pretty cool. Here's another 3 hours, I guess, but either way, not like it matters too much. Might be at a point where like one shulker box will finish like an entire quarter, like a little bit more than a quarter, which is great because then I can get like a layer done per harvest and all that instead of having to like go back to go pick up like another 4 boxes and still barely finish. So looks like those first 2 layers really were the hardest, and once those are out of the way, it's a lot easier. Ah, that's crazy. Hmm. Oh, you have to excuse me here for a minute. I have something I need to go do. So give me a little bit. Wait, there we go. Alrighty. I just got back, sorry about that, but I had to go do something real quick. We should be good. Yep, there we go. Not much is happening, Jace. I just gotta build in more stuff. As in, it's all mountain still. Yes, a lore music disc. See, these are the kinds of things. Oh, this isn't even lore. This is just the end, and it's a 15-minute track of just noises. So cool, good to know. I'll figure that out later. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. My mom just called me. You know, I gotta go talk to her and all that. But it's not too big a deal. We got another good chunk of it done. Hmm. I think for 1.20 as well, I'm gonna try my best to, but I can't guarantee anything, especially when the thing hasn't even been announced yet what it is. But I'm probably gonna try and like stay like completely out of the loop in terms of like snapshots, betas, all that kind of stuff, just to try and experience anything like completely fresh or as fresh as I can get it to be, because I'm still on YouTube a lot, so you know I can only go so far. But if it's a whole new dimension or something, especially, that's when I try and like play it completely blind. But if it's something relatively smaller, I don't think I'll like worry about it too much. But kind of depending on the size of what it is, I'll probably try and play blind. Well, you know, we got plenty of time to see when that happens out in October when they announce it. So. But I'm gonna like I'd have to guess personally that they'd have to do. They don't have to, obviously, but like with, you know, the next update being like 1.20, that's kind of a big deal because it's a whole new like, you know, number. It's not just like, oh, 18 to 19 or like 11 to 12. It's, you know, 19 to 20. So if I had to guess, they probably would try and do something a little bit bigger to celebrate or something to really stick with it. You know what I mean? But maybe not. Who knows? I think it'd be cool. There we go. That whole section going all the way around. So I think we should be able to finish this within the 4 boxes that we are, not 4, the like 2.5 boxes we got left. So that's good. Now this part here is kind of like superfluous, so we don't actually have to build anything here if I don't want to. It's in a weird spot. kind of weird though that I'm thinking about it a little bit. So like grass for example, right? And same with mycelium. They're like semi-renewable. You know what I mean? Like if you got like one block of grass and you have all the dirt, you can get it to spread. But if you completely run out of grass, and this mainly is for like skyblock worlds, for example, we're gonna go see if that guy has nautilus shells, by the way. But if you were to run completely out of like grass or mycelium, there's like no way to get it back, right? Like at all, which is kind of fucked up. I feel like the wandering trader should maybe like sell like a block of grass or mycelium every now and then, 'cause that'd be like an easy way to fix it. It'd be like kind of lazy, but it would be definitely a way at the very least. But I don't know. Like I feel like, especially with more so with grass, because mycelium being like going extinct is one thing, because it just is there to be different. That's fine. But if grass were to go extinct in a Minecraft world, then like what do you do for like things like sheep? Like sheep specifically would be a fucking nightmare, because you would have to like source all your wool from like a string farm, or breed like a new sheep each time you wanted to shear it. Like they'd have no way to regrow, and it would just be a minor, like just a total like inconvenience for anybody involved. And plus, not having the ability to build with grass kind of stinks too, because it's pretty. Like on the right biomes, it's actually like a really nice shade of green, especially in like jungle biomes. It's like that nice lush green, and just kind of losing that. I mean, I guess you do have moss, so there's kind of a like substitute, but you know, it just seems kind of weird that it's non-renewable. Like dirt is totally renewable, because you can make like rooted dirt out of like flowering azaleas growing on moss. He doesn't have anything useful, but you can make like all the different like dirts and all that shit with like, so you can like bone meal a flowering azalea, right, on like a moss block, and it should turn it into rooted dirt. And then you can get rid of the roots in the dirt to make normal dirt. And then if you make coarse dirt, or if you get like access to coarse dirt or whatever, you can actually turn it back into like you can make like 4 coarse dirt with 2 dirt and like 2 gravel, and then you can get rid of the coarse dirt part, by like turning it into a path block and then just like breaking it again. And then you can just pretty much like exponentially like grow dirt, but you can't do it with grass like at all. Like once you're out of grass, you're completely fucked. Like they gotta do something about that. Like they don't have to. It's not like you'd ever realistically run out of grass in like a normal like Minecraft world, but like in Skyblock or something, it would kind of stink. And considering they've been making a fairly big push to have more renewability in certain resources, it kind of would be nice to renew grass forever, like truly forever. Okay, so we can't quite land yet because we got a lot of shit there, so we're gonna go fly away a little bit. Alright, that should be far enough. I want to just kind of check on the river a little bit. So we got that little island that needs to go at some point. We can probably cut something through here, because right out this way, that's where our main part is. But if we cut something straight through here, we would end up with the villager breeder. Or we could cut something like out from here to there, and then isolate this whole bit of land, which could be pretty cool if it's done correctly. So we would isolate it through that point, and then from this beach we'd kind of carve it, go all the way out back to this main river here. And then if we did that, this whole bit of land we'd be able to light up and section off, and then we could probably build like a massive like kind of like medieval-esque like city in here, you know what I mean? I think that could be cool. That's just more of an idea I'm floating out again. Many of these things might not ever come to fruition, but it's at least good to put them out there in case, they ever do one day. But we'll figure that one out. Got all the time I need. Go and take a little bit of it. There we go. Oh, hey, welcome. How you doing, Chilled? Alright, this definitely looks, this looks weird out of context, but I swear this is gonna look better at some point. That was not supposed to go there. I'm doing pretty good. I'm just working on the same mountain range I've been working on for about, I want to say it's been 2 weeks, but I think it'll look really cool when it's done, and this is just the inside of it, because I still have to make a whole custom, like, outside of it on the back. But, got a long way to go with it. But yeah, we're currently on day 1065, and thank you for the follow, Chilled, again. I know we were just chatting, but I still do really appreciate it. But yeah, we're on 1065, so that's pretty cool. We are moving on up. Just to make sure. Yep, we're still on the correct stuff already. But I do plan on actually using the inside of all this mountain stuff when we're done with it, because we'll have about 100 to 150 blocks, as we do have to go out that way quite a bit, and we'll probably be building like a ton of stuff in it. So yeah, what's up, by the way? I might have to turn down the music here for a little bit. Hang on, that is getting quite loud. Hopefully it calms down a little bit, but yeah, big mountain is getting bigger. I think we'll go ahead and do that there. How long does this go on for? Wow, it is a 10-minute track. That's crazy. Oh, out it goes. It's a 10-minute track, and it's a little bit too long. But yeah, it is getting pretty thick. Especially when I work on some of the endpoints too. When I actually have some like flat land to work with, it'll be looking nicer. But yeah, that rough shape just takes time. Oh, absolutely. It's fun when you actually have people to help you out with, just because, it's not as much of a slog, but, in a hardcore world like this, I kind of can't exactly have anybody to help me with it, because I'm trying to stay, like, as, pure with it as possible. Plus, that also means I'd have to have money to, like, make it into a server anyways. But yeah, big projects like this would definitely be nice to work with other people, because you get it done quicker, and it's just more fun, Everybody like just kind of hanging out, doing their own thing, and it's nice. And I promise it's not going to look this ugly and flat forever. It just has to for now, because I just need a shape in place, and then we can put in some different like stuff jutting out and going in and all that kind of stuff. But it takes time, and it takes a lot of time for something this big. This is actually the easy half, I want to say. This might technically be harder because I had to work out the logistics of the height, but the other part of it in the back is going to be just harder in terms of sheer scale. So yeah, even at this kind of like steepness, it doesn't look bad. But like some of these like parts that are like really flat, like especially that like kind of brick there, it looks kind of weird, So I'll be putting in like caves and stuff to help break it up, and it's not going to be all dirt as well. I actually have an entire like gradient I stole off of Reddit that I'm going to be using to kind of like help break things up as we get higher up. So and I don't know if that made a lot of sense. I'm just a little tired right now. But so like the fourth layer, the fifth layer will be moss. The sixth and the seventh will be like moss with glow lichen, and then the eighth will be mossy cobble. Ninth will be like regular cobble. The 10th will be like andesite. Same with the 11th, and then the 12th, 13th, and 14th will probably be like regular stone or something. And then we'll blend them in together with each other. So that way there's like a nice little like gradient going from green to gray. And then we'll snow cap all of the peaks and all that too, and we'll put in some packed ice and a whole bunch of decoration, a whole bunch of terraforming, a nice bit of detailing too, and that'll look really good. Once it's done, that is, which will take I don't even know how long it would take, to be perfectly honest, but I have to say maybe probably another like entire month or so before I'm completely done with like a lot of the shapes, and then I just have to start working on texturing. But it's not too terrible. I have a much bigger project that I'm simply neglecting, so at least as long as I don't neglect something, it should be okay. But I'll have to stop neglecting that big project later. I've been wanting to work on it for a while, but at the same time, I don't want to work on it. I want to see it finished, but I don't want to work on it to actually get it finished. Because all I'm working on it is just the shape of it, and then I have to actually, fill it with stuff, and no, that takes a long, long time. But that sphere that I'm working on way in the back is more of like an absolute like end game kind of project that I'm working on. Just that way I always have something to do. Because this is something I need to do now, considering it's my actual base that I live at. So I don't want it to be ugly forever. But the sphere with how far it is, I can kind of tend to ignore. But, you know, it's coming along. And then we just have to go down that whole strip, and then we'll be done with a layer. And I'm able to farm pretty much everything this world. Like, I have done a lot of building, but I still have, like, a lot I still need to build, as you can see by some of this, like, framework that I have laid out. But, you know, we farmed everything else in the game pretty much, barring, like, gold and, like, sculpt blocks and things like that. But I don't have a gold farm yet, I don't have a bartering farm, and I don't have a skulk farm. And those are pretty much the only other farms that I need, or that I actually actively want. Like, I could still build like an Enderman farm, but I have no respect for Enderman farms, so I simply will not build it. But there's only 3 more big farms that I truly need that are going to be like massive projects, and then I'll be able to farm pretty much everything. That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. And the thing with the cobblestone stuff too, as well. These were all lava casts just to help kind of like roughly outline the sheer size and like heights as well of like the different parts. I wanted it to be like a relatively like small like peak near like the endpoints there, and then like go to a massive peak like way in the back to help complement this over here. I think it'll work out pretty well. We'll see how it goes. But when I'm completely done with the inside and the outside like faces, so like this is the inside layer, like all this what we're doing is the inside, and then when I go out into the ocean part, that's the outside. Once I'm done with both of those and they're all like filled in and they're all gradiented and they're all like terraformed and textured and all that funny business, I'm gonna be left with this massive amount of empty space, and I want to do something with it. I'm not 100%. Well, I kind of know what I want to do, but because there's going to be so much space, I'll be able to fill it with like a lot of different like things. But I want to try making like a mountain like city. I think that could be pretty cool, like inside of a mountain, and then some of it pokes out of it a little bit. But it would be kind of cool to have like that kind of vibe where it's like you can't even tell that you're inside of a mountain because it's so like nicely lit up and there's so much like actual like natural greenery and like trees and fauna and like villagers walking around like that. Like you wouldn't be able to tell that you're inside of a mountain unless you saw the mountain bits. I think it'd be pretty cool. That was the wrong thing. There we go. But things like that take time, and I got a lot of it, but I'm just kind of spitballing ideas for now. I need to get rid of this at some point too. It was good, and I need to get rid of these. Because the concrete buildings for a lot of housing just isn't doing it for me, because I can't keep that many villagers on this island without literally trying to crash my PC. But I would still like to have a working computer after all this is done. But yeah, we have a couple of Olay buddies here. I was going to duplicate them when 1.19.1 came out, and well, it's been delayed, so they stay in prison indefinitely until it's, not delayed. So yeah, they stay in little baby jail. And that's our string and gunpowder farm there as well. Normally it's on, but I kind of can't have it on with how close I am to working next to it. I don't want to risk like dying. I definitely have. I've gotten up close a couple of times to like really like kicking the bucket. Like only a couple of days ago, as a matter of fact, when I was building the Guardian farm, they made me pop a totem, and that almost like outright killed me. But I was able to get away, get another totem with my offhand, eat some golden apples, and then just swim away and try again later. And it was pretty good. And it turns out invisibility potions do help out quite a lot, even if you are still wearing like full armor. They're not ideal and they're not perfect, but they do help. So Good to know. But yeah, when like 10 or 20 of them fire on you like all at the same time and you can't dodge them, it stinks. Like they hurt because they do it like a lot, like really quickly. I have not fought the Warden yet, but I have at least seen it. I've been to a couple of ancient cities because I got Swift Sneak 3, but I haven't gone out of my way to fight it because I really don't want to yet, to be honest. Like imagine I fight the Warden and I die. Like realistically, there's a good chance I might die, might not be able to get another totem in time. Like I have some enchanted golden apples, some regular ones, so I could try it, but it might be extremely rough. Cause I don't want to just bow spam it from like 30 blocks away or whatever. Cause that's kind of like rude. But at the same time, if I were to just go in with a sword, a couple of like good things, I might have like a ridiculously hard time. But if I were to die doing that, right, with all this unfinished stuff that I have like vaguely in the back, I'm like, this is completely unfinished. This is completely unfinished. The big sphere that I have in the back is completely unfinished. So to die now, of all times, would just be like I wouldn't be angry per se, but I'm like, what the hell? Like I spent all this time and it just isn't finished yet, I do need more enchanted golden apples. Yeah, I only have 3, but at the same time, they are a little bit difficult to get a hold of in mass. At least I'm gonna start farming like normal golden apples, but the enchanted ones, I gotta actually go way out of my way to go get a ton of. These are the only 3 I've ever gotten a hold of, and they all came from ancient cities, so that's pretty much the only reason why I would ever consistently go out and look for new ones, because they have a fair chance of getting like a couple of golden apples, or enchanted ones. That's pretty much the only reason why I'd ever go look for them. Oh, this one goes over cobblestone, that's right. Not used to that. But yeah, I definitely do need to go out of my way to go find some more, but I have other stuff I need to do, and it's relatively safe for what it's worth, so I'll say, yeah, you're good. But what I do is safe, so I don't actually feel like I have to go out and get more enchanted golden apples. Not for a long time, at least. See what else we got. Yeah, I gotta do that too, but like it's just weird because I've only been to like 2 of them and I got 3, which is good, but I have to go out of my way to go find like a ton more ancient cities. Like I'd have to say if I get at least one golden or enchanted golden apple, I'm just gonna say like golden apples. You know what I mean when I say that. But if I get at least one of them per ancient city, I'd reasonably would want to try and get like 20 to 30 of them, just so that way I have about a half stack. Because I don't ever eat them unless like I really am gonna feel like something's like really fucking bad is gonna happen. So the only times I'd ever even consider eating one is like the Guardian one. I should have had one, but I didn't need it, luckily. Certain other things, like if I have a really bad time in a bastion, I have exhausted all my other options, I'll have to eat one of them there. If I'm fighting the warden, like in an actual proper fist fight, I will absolutely have to eat like 2 to 3 of them at the very least to like heal off enough of the damage and like the absorption hearts as well. But you only fight the wardens once for like recreation, and then you never do it again because it's just simply not worth it. Now, it's worth it for the catalyst, but if you want the catalyst in bulk, just go make like a warden farm, because that is a thing, and they're not too hard to do either. So you can just kill them with like entity cramming with a bunch of mine cards. We are about to exhaust our 3rd shulker box of dirt, and we only got 1 more for today. Here we go. Starting to see the end though, at least. Alright, and then these tips off to go around and like put lighting on all of them if I want to like light up the whole thing when this stuff gets covered up. Because I'm eventually going to have to like completely encase all this, so it's going to be completely dark. So I'll have to get some stuff figured out. Namely, like these outside ridges, I'll have to light up. Some of these weird tips, I'll have to light up. Luckily, there's not too many of them because they're not on every single like lava cast. And then I'm trying to think what else I even need to do. That should actually be everything lit up once I do that at least. So it wouldn't really be too bad. I saw those other houses down there I should try and build, but... Or maybe I might just, I might just take them down altogether, to be perfectly honest, and just leave it for just, like, being a nice beach, Because once I get rid of those, I'm planning on redesigning them well, not, that one might have to stay, but it'll probably get reworked to, like, not be, like, white. And then as for, like, this one and the other one, they'll probably be reworked into, like, bigger houses akin to, like, that one over there that house, like, a couple of villagers, so... And then, since we have that whole other community on the other side of the mountain in the cave one, yeah, we'll get rid of all of these, honestly, so then next time, like, when I start building on these again, I can just focus straight away on the mountainside, like, houses. That could be cool. Java parody that Mojang might add next. I would not know specifically what they would want to add next, but if I wanted something that they should add, I feel like they, supposedly they have stuff for, like, the music disc in Bedrock can be automated, where like you can still like actually like put them in with like droppers or hoppers or that kind of stuff. I'm not 100% sure if that's a feature because I don't play Bedrock enough, but I'd like to see that in Java Edition. And something in Java Edition I'd like to see in Bedrock is just being able to put like a lot more like stuff in your offhand. Because like being able to like put dirt in your offhand and then like being able to do like you mine with your right hand and then play stuff with your left, like it'd be so nice. That's something else they should add. But they're getting better with the parody stuff, so I don't have any big like suggestions. Like combat isn't something that needs to be paired because they've made it clear that that won't be paired at all until like the new combat stuff comes out like way later on at like an undisclosed time. So who knows? But yeah, being able to use a lot more stuff in your offhand would be extremely nice for Bedrock players because just good. And then being able to do cooler stuff with some of the jukeboxes and being able to move certain things in Java would be very nice as well. But yeah, we'll demolish all these like outlines and houses, and we'll maybe put up like a couple of like small like wool like beach tents or something. But in terms of just straight up housing, I think it should go because it just I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit too weird nowadays, Because I've ignored it for so long, and I don't even want to do it anymore, and it just clogs up the beach in like too much of a way. But we'll still have the whole like mountainside and the actual castle bit that I need to go out of my way to build. So either way, like 30 to 20 villagers should be absolutely plenty for this whole island. And then I can always branch something out from the beach into like this small bit of water, like a small little bit of like port stuff I could do, but then I have a whole nother section tucked away deep in my base I can use. So knocking out the whole beach stuff isn't too big of a deal. It saves me from having to build like these kind of samey looking houses, and then just helps kind of like declutter the beach a bit. So we'll probably demolish those today. We'll keep all the resources out of them. It was a good idea, but I don't have my heart's not in it anymore, so I just don't want to do it. It's fine. It's good to like at least admit that it was a bad decision, and I can just go fix it and then move on with it. Don't have to stick to everything. Like I might remove this pumpkin farm and go move it way deep into my base at some point because it served its purpose of just get me some pumpkins, and now I never need to use it again. So they'll probably get tucked away somewhere else. I need to renovate the whole dripstone area too by like clearing it out and relocating that again, probably under my house. So who knows? So once we get more of the stuff dug like under like my base, like that massive cavern that I'm trying to work on a little bit, that's probably where we'll move some of the weird like manual farms, like the pumpkin farm, the dripstone farm will go down there. And then we'll do some other things too. But, you know, we'll figure it out. We'll have plenty of other bits of housing for those villagers when I get them in, so we won't have to just use, like, the beach houses at all. Because they're just not that cool. Like the mountain ones are probably gonna look somewhat boring-ish. They're not gonna look, like, boring, but, you know, at least they're gonna be, like, in a cool, like, area. Like, it's gonna be, like, in a pretty much vertical, like, community, which should be cool in and of itself, and then they can still get over to, like, these main areas very easy because I have a cut-through point in there. And then I can demolish the lighthouse completely since this beach is a lot smaller now. And then, you know, they still have that way down to get down to here if they ever want to. Or they can go walk around. Like, they still have enough options to get over to this beach, and then they still have that one anyways, so you know, it would just be better to just get rid of those beach houses. Good idea. I might reuse that idea at some point in terms of just the very brightly colored houses with like a bunch of like white, like shiny quartz to help break it up, but I don't think I'm doing it in the right way. Because it just feels like a shitty like suburban house that you'd see, you know, in a fucking family of five lives in like a nice little cul-de-sac where nothing ever happens and it's boring as shit. And then they have to pay $18 billion for their HOA for like no reason. And then they end up embezzling the money anyway, so it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, pro tip, HOA agreements are doo-doo. Don't ever go for them. You can if they're like actually that good and the people running them are really like trustworthy, but like come on. It's just fucking goofy. It's all just, oh, maintain your lawn and go do all this other shit. See, something got messed up that shouldn't have gotten messed up. Because, yeah, okay. Luckily, it's not too big of a deal. It'll definitely like stand out a little bit, but it's not like unforgivable. But I made a mistake here at some point. In fact, it would appear that I've made two. As long as it doesn't create like any overhangs, I actually don't have anything to worry about, but it is something to take note. These two corners got cut off, and they shouldn't be like that, so that's alright. Yeah, still good. It'll still look cool, like, even when it is all flat like this, but it won't be flat permanently, because I kind of don't want it to be, you know? But at least it will look somewhat, like, more appealing when it's actually all put in. We still have plenty of work to do afterwards. Yeah, about 4 shulker boxes, maybe like 4.5 got this whole layer done, or should get this layer whole done. So that's good. And it only gets easier from here too in terms of how much material we need to gather. And we will be using dirt and as like the filler layers, because like I said, the next layer is going to be moss, and then so it was like the next like 3 layers because moss, moss with lichen, mossy cobble, or mossy cobble, andesite, and then like stone, you know. So we'll have like 3 to 4 moss layers, and in order to like actually do that in a nice way, we're gonna just mine a bunch of dirt, and then we're just gonna bone meal the moss to go like all the way through the strip. We'll do a small section of it to make sure I can. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't even matter because I just had like a straight line of moss, and I could just spread it down anyway. So never mind. Fine. Also, hey, welcome, Pog. How you doing? Music lore. Huh. Oh, that was incredibly weird. Oh well. There was pick step, and then pick step was no more. Yep, we're just building up more of this mountain range here, so nothing too interesting. And I hope when I get an actual place to live and I get a better chair, because this one's fine, but my neck's killing me a little bit. I can't exactly just get a better chair, unfortunately. But we are nearly done with the third layer, so that's very good to see. So what we can do is fill in some of these flat sections that we've already got. And then that should be pretty cool. We'll have to maybe mine a little bit extra dirt to go, make those, but it shouldn't be too bad. Or maybe get like a box or two of dirt. Yeah, this is also where things get a little weird as well. So we need to match it up with this part specifically and like no more. So we actually need to carve away a nice chunk of this for now. And we'll try again. There we go. Okay, it seems like it should be good. See what we got. Oh, this 1.13 music, cool. And I'll say hey again, Pog, how you doing? I'm just calling you Pog, by the way, because you literally just, have like 18 billion numbers in front of your name, so I'm just going to call you Pog if that's alright. But either way, welcome. There we go. So we've only got that to that, and then I have just enough dirt, I believe, to finish that, so that should be good. And yeah, oh yeah, it's good. Alrighty, good to know. But yeah, we don't have too much left here. Yeah, we'll have to go back and go get some more dirt to either finish this up like a little bit or to well, we'll need it anyways because we still need to fill in those flat parts. And then so we'll fill in those flat parts so there's like a nice little like flat area to work with, and then we'll work on the slopes like separately. So I could leave them to be like tiered, but then I feel like they'd be too abrupt, so we will be working on different slopes for all that. Just to, not make everything so sharp. Dude, I have that issue so many times, honestly, but Like, the best I can say is just have, like, a rough idea of what you want, like, something you think could look cool, and then just kinda go for it and figure it out as, best you can. That stuff can be really hard to deal with, but hey, welcome back, Chilled. But, yeah, like, good advice for just doing cool stuff in a hardcore or any world for that matter. If you have a hard time figuring out what you wanna build, just, do anything, honestly. Like, just maybe if you have, like, a ton of different blocks that you have, like, an overabundance of that you can use in the palette could give you some ideas, or, a good thing too is, like, taking inspiration from real life, for example. Usually, like, a very nice thing you can do. So, like, these houses that I was gonna try and build were based off, some of the, slums in, like, South America where they're, like, very brightly colored and, like, tightly packed together, and they look really pretty, but at the end of the day, they are still slums, so I feel like I probably shouldn't, but either way, taking inspiration from real life can be a very good place to start when it comes to, like, building something new. And then the other struggle is just figuring out how to build it. Like, these mountains that I wanna make, like, kinda semi-inspired between, like, things like the Grand Canyon in terms of just the sheer, like, size of it. But the main thing when I say that they're inspired by the Grand Canyon is not the block palette, it's more of the verticality of it, you know what I mean? We have some very, like, flat parts dotted around here and there, but because of how sheer of, like, a faces has to be, I had to look at things like the, Grand Canyon and some of the, they call it, like, the Chinese Grand Canyon as well, but there are, like, actual, like, natural, like, formations that are just very sheer and vertical, like, cliff faces, so it's good to just try and take a look around, like, different parts of the world or, like, things like that if you want to do like cool like terraforming to just take inspiration from real life. But in terms of buildings or whatever, you've got like simple like block palettes like spruce wood and cobble, and like deep slate is like a very like simple thing that you can get a lot of. And then all I did was like I wanted to make like all I wanted to do here was I knew I wanted to make a house that was like curved. So then I just made the basic like post of it, and then I just kind of filled in the rest. So at some point I can do the detailing on it, maybe touch up a couple of things with the floors. But if you're just struggling to figure out what you want to build, it always does come down to you at the end of the day. But you could always build something that you like, or again take inspiration from real life. Usually an easy thing to do and pretty nice. Carpet like design, like carpet, how like a rug for like the inside of a base, or like just a nice pattern or things like that. Because if it's like a rug on the inside of your base, then simple like kind of pixel patterns might be pretty nice to do, or things of that nature. But it just kind of depends. My opinion doesn't matter a whole bunch here because I don't know exactly what's going on. So, but colors are another thing too that's really big. So you might have like the right idea, but if you have like the wrong colors, then it can like hurt pretty bad. Oh motherfucker! I'm gonna have to go out and get more dirt, aren't I? Man, I really wanted to finish this up with this last shulker box, but now I'm gonna have to go out and get more dirt and then finish this part up like a little later. It's not too bad. I'll just go get 2 shulker boxes instead of 4, but it certainly is a little bit of an inconvenience. I thought I was gonna have this whole layer done, and then I could just go onto the flat parts. Hey, music disc 5. That's crazy. How'd it goes? Does it sound actual music? The music disc, but it's just sounds. What else we got? Oh, we're out of dirt. We're officially out of dirt here in a moment. Alrighty. So we need to go back out and go to get a ton more dirt. Which, yay, have fun. But if you're working on like bigger things too, like houses or like things that have like scale to them, like not even, it doesn't have to be like this big scale, but like even like that small house down there, like you want to just plot out like some basic like framework and then kind of just fill in the rest. But as long as you got a strong enough idea for it, you don't have to do anything too crazy, but it does help to plan out a couple of things. But if it's something small like a custom like rug or carpet or something like that, it's not too bad. Something just kind of like at some point something will just kind of like come to you and it'll just stick, you know what I mean? Like you might not find out exactly what you want to do straight away, but you play around with enough different blocks, some all of a sudden some idea just forms and it's like, damn, why didn't I think of this sooner? And it just looks good and it works out nice, but it kind of depends. But anywho, we got some dirt to collect, so I'm gonna set these down and clean up my inventory here a little bit. But yeah, building is something I still struggle with a lot personally because, like, you know, I pretty much haven't had a creative bone in my body ever, and it's hard trying to learn how to do that between, like, learning how to draw and then, you know, learning how to terraform and actually build cool things that aren't just, like, redstone farms or things like that. You know, it takes time, but kind of know things that I want to build, but it's just a matter of figuring out how do I do that, and then once I do figure out how to do that, it starts getting a little bit easier to start making new things from scratch. I'm getting better at it. I just put function first over form, and now I have the time to actually, you know, worry about how things will look. So I'm gonna have to completely redesign that trading hall that I have, but the hard thing is figuring out like a nice block palette for it, and then I don't want it to just be a hall, but at the same time it's the easiest thing to do, so I might like redo that. But, you know, I gotta figure out a nice block palette for it is another big thing. This is not how water should work, but you know what? It's whatever. Oh, let's see what else we got. I think I could even just go get one shulker box instead of like two, honestly. Because we should only need like 3 stacks or so to finish up the third layer, and then the flat parts don't really take too much since they're just flat, so... And then we can always add in the slopes later, but I just want to have the flat parts installed at the very least. Let's see, where's our shulker box? Here they are. I don't even know if we need to get like even a full shulker box, but I feel like that's pushing it, so we should at least try for that, but I don't have to. I should. I don't have to, though. And decide it's not like it matters, we're already almost there anyway, so just a little bit longer. Alright, we're nearly there. Alright, we'll have to pop the bed down here in a moment, but, you know, could be pretty good. See, we're on day 1069. How cool. We're getting close to 1070. And it'll be day 1100 here soon enough, too, so that's cool. What? That's crazy. C418 death. Dang. Killed a chicken. That was the whole song. That's kind of cursed. Oh well. We'll fill up this last little bit of our inventory with dirt. Get a little bit more than a shulker. And then clear out this little chunk here. And then we'll be out. So we'll have like 1 1.25 shulker boxes. Maybe like 1.25. But that should be more than plenty for what we want to do for the rest of the day. So I'm not too bothered about it. And I have no clue what I want to do with these bits of land at some point because they're all like turning into like stone like atrocities, but no, I'm sure I'll figure it out later. Pretty much everything is a future me problem in case you haven't already gotten the gist of that, so which isn't a bad thing. It is a little bit, but when it comes to inconsequential things like this, it doesn't really matter. Now when it comes to schoolwork on the other hand, that's when it becomes a little bit of an issue because that's a pain in the ass to deal with at college, so I gotta get better at dealing with that, but that's then. This is now. Let's see what else we got. Oh, and that's gonna be the very like high point of our mountain range as well. It's gonna be pretty flat at the very peak, so we can build in a nice number of like cool like structures up here. And then you know, do some other stuff later. But for the most part, it should be okay. So we need to fill in that little section, and then go fill in that flat area, and then that flat area, and then also we need to make sure that they are lit up down there as well, because they're going to be creating dark spots. Let's see. We'll just go through this one first. Alrighty, let's see. What do we got? It's all here already. Took less than a stack of dirt to do that, so just shy. Oh well. Not too bad though. And this is where one of our first main things comes into play. So again, we'll go light it up later, but you know, we'll be able to get down there pretty easy. And I have the gear to go tank any like mob damage, so I'm not too worried about it. It shouldn't be too annoying. But all we're gonna do is just fill in all this land until we get over to these parts, and then, you know. So technically, we might have to start on the 4th layer a little bit just to make sure these are properly aligned, but I don't have to if I don't want to. The grass will spread in over enough time so it won't look like all ugly and dirt forever. And besides, this is just a temporary one anyways until I get more materials for the sloping bit, so. Let's see here. So that one's an actual proper thing. Uh-oh, something went a little weird. Something's a little weird here. Alrighty, so when it comes to stuff like this, we shouldn't be targeting any blocks. That's what my issue is. It kind of bulked up in weird spots. Actually, the whole issue started here, technically, but alrighty, hang on. Give me a minute here. So we do that, we do that. And this is where it should start to go back to being relatively normal. Yep, so it looks like these are all lined up now, so okay, good. That means anything that we can physically reach like this, we gotta fill it up, and then we should be good. See, we already got a creeper spawning down there. There we go, so that's the first main layer. That's pretty much all we have to do, so that's good. Alrighty. So enough of this will turn into grass as we go work on some of the lighting downstairs, and you know, we'll do the same thing over there like what we just did here, except it should be a little bit easier considering we have an entire flat wall already built, so that's good. Shouldn't make things too hard. Also, we built the wrong fucking one apparently too. Oops. That oh shit. I now know why there's so much light here specifically. Oh, I'm a little dumb. Alrighty. Not that it matters, because it had to go in at some point, I guess, but that is a little annoying. Because I did extra that I did not need to do today. We'll just go around a little bit and light up what we can on this kind of inner ring. Don't have to light up too much, and we're actually already done, so that's perfect. Because this should be lit up for pretty much the whole way, yeah, so that's good. Alrighty. Oh, time to fly to bed real quick. And then we'll have to go back and actually fill in the other plateau area that should be there. I don't know if plateau's the right word for this, by the way, but I keep using it, so it'll stick eventually. And eventually I'll actually figure out what the right word is, if that isn't the right word, that is. You know. Yeah, these are all the andesite, stone, and cobblestone that I have stockpiled so far. Well, I have a lot more, but that is the main bit of it, at least, so that's good. But, you know, we'll get some more. It's weird though, seeing the lighting kind of being affected weird. There we go, and then we just fill this in, and then we should be good for this whole side, at least for today. And another thing too is when all of it is completely and totally done, like I'm talking, we get absolutely everything done. We're gonna make some room for some lighting, so we can light up all the walls of the faces and all that. Because it'll look way better at night. Because this mountain here is all lit up on all the sides with torches, and it looks really nice at night when you can actually see it. And then all the whole island is lit up too, which makes it look even better. So I want to try actually lighting up a lot of the walls here, but you know, that's just something we'll do later. My game is lagging a little bit. That's cool, except for the part where it's not, but could be a lot worse, right? And that shouldn't have been like that. That's a shame. Okay, that needs to quit stuttering for real. That's not cool. I haven't had that issue in a while. Our last stack of dirt from the first shulker box, I want the little bits of stuff in it, so we'll have to dip into the big one here soon. Even when I don't have enough to fill this in, which I don't, but, you know, wish I did. Actually, no, we just barely had enough to finish it, so that counts. A little bit inconvenient, it's a little weird, but it does count, and it is perfectly done, so... We've got two pretty flat and relatively large plateau bits that we can use later on in some building. That's pretty neat. That and that, the little steps that we've made. So now we can make this one, and then when we do the fourth layer, we can make the next one as well. Yep, now all we do is we go around and fill in some of these bits. We'll go down real quick and just bite the bullet and go get this lit up. So go ahead and break out our torches, what little we have left, switch on our chest plate, and I might have to go make some more torches at some point, but that's alright for now, I guess. Luckily we have a little bit of lighting already, but not all of it, but enough, so that's good. I should actually connect these down into the river, but we'll do that like way at the end, so don't worry about it for now. Yeah, you can see we got quite the distance to cover though. So what we'll do is we'll just, every couple of blocks, we'll go ahead and actually partition it. And we're gonna have to move that whole lightning rod down, and we'll move it like up a little bit. So it's actually, you know, exposed to the surface, but that will, I do notice that, so we will get that fixed at some point, but it's gonna take some time. Here we go, and that is still quite a lot of stuff. We should definitely be able to clear it with the, you know, with what we have left, but doesn't mean that it's not a lot. Now, I will have to go back into my base, and actually, no, I should have it in a shulker box still. But we should have the necessary stuff, and we do. Okay, we're gonna make some more torches here real quick. Here we go, there's our torches already. We got those already when we inevitably need to come down to here to finish patching that up. And for some of these like inside sections too, I'm planning on using, and I had to have a skulk farm for it, but I think it could be really cool if we had like skulk blocks to kind of like emulate the night sky. So it wouldn't exactly look like the night sky, obviously, but it would look really pretty if I did it correctly. But hey, welcome back, Bean. But I need to hop down here and light all this stuff up really quickly, because I kind of need some more lighting. About to get really dark. Oh, we shouldn't have any weird... Jesus, that fucking scared me. God, I wasn't expecting anything to be down here, like, at all. Huh. Oh. God, that... I mean, I haven't fucking seen a zombie in, like, 18 billion years, pretty much, so... God. I wasn't expecting nothing. Jesus. Oh well. A little bit of a scaredy cat when it comes to that stuff, but again, I just did not think anything was even going to be close to here, so... Oops. I never thought that was going to be the case so soon, but oh well. Well, we can take this lightning rod back for now, and there you know, lightning rod. Pretty cool. I'll probably put it up on top of the plateau a bit. I might need more torches. Oh, great. Oh. This is quite a sea of stuff. You'll see some remnants of like the wheat farm, and turns out how far it used to reach out. Hey, this lag actually needs to cut it out sometimes, for real. It's not very cool. Don't appreciate it. Alright, I think that should cover us, so if I were to like fly back through... Okay, like, don't lag when I'm launching a firework, stop, like, it's not good. We shouldn't have any issues with anything spawning inside of the things, or like out here as well. But we still do need to go to bed, because I'm still working on the stuff up there. But at least it's lit up, so keeping the mob spawns down. I wonder, I should try and get the sniper duel achievement, shouldn't I? You fucking despawned, you jackass, bruh. Oh, man. Yeah, that's the other issue, too. It's like you have to fucking, you know, be able to hit one of them in time so they don't try and despawn, but... I wanted to back up as much as I could to just really ensure it, but that did not work out for me. That's a shame, but oh well. Ugh, man, alrighty. All the arrows I shot. That is a lot of flaming crap. We're gonna just fly out of the way a little bit just to deload all of it. Here we go. And over up here, we still have a little bit in here that needs to be patched up anyway, so... But yep, everything's despawned. Looks like we're safe. That hurt a little bit. We already lit all that up, luckily. Here we go. We'll have to dip into the shulker box again here soon. And we'll go ahead and just set our lightning rod down. I'd say probably here should be a fair spot. Yeah, that should be okay. I feel like with a Riptide 3 Trident, this place might be really cool to try and traverse, so we might want to try and keep that in mind when we make certain overhangs. We can put like pools of water in them that like cascade down in like some waterfalls, and then we can use Riptide 3 to like climb up the thing like really quick without having to use fireworks. I could use fireworks if I really wanted to, but it'd be cool just to have that little extra bit of like functionality if I wanted it. So we'll just keep that in mind. Also, I'll need to make more torches here relatively soon, so we're going to kind of prep for that because I want to go actually light the whole like inside ring of cobblestone up, and then we may want to try lighten up some of the plateau areas. We don't have to actually; they're out of the way, and then they're gonna get covered up anyway, so still might be a good idea. And that should do it for this plateau. Alrighty, cool. Got another nice flat area done. It's got a nice little crevice in here. Now, we can always chip into some of these because they're going to be relatively covered anyways. And they're more for a rough outline, so... we can demolish some of these like cobblestone peaks, but I really should not try to. Actually, no, I shouldn't at all because if, you know... Is that's if I the only times I would destroy them is if I was only doing the inside, but since we're going to be doing the outside at some point as well, it'd be a very poor decision to do that. So we just won't do that. But yeah, got a whole nother section all done. So things are starting to come together a little bit. We can go ahead and tuck away the rest of this dirt for now. Get a little bit of a head start next time, and we can just make a nice number of torches here. There we go. Got a whole stack. How cool. And we can go ahead and just pop down real quick and go to some away. Also check on the shulker farm, and the answer is it's still producing. Good. Alrighty, we'll check on how much it's actually produced, but it is still producing actively, so that's good. It might be because of the lighting too as well, because things kind of get a little weird, especially over here in this area. I wonder what the deal is. I want to see if I can keep an eye on my FPS and how bad it gets, but I'm still got the correct settings, right? Yep, 12 and 12. Alrighty. A little weird. Don't know why it's doing what it's doing, but it is, so that's something to keep in mind. I got a couple of rough spots. Alright, that should be pretty much complete with all the lighting, so that's good. Yep, just kidding, it's not. I forgot this area exists, so... Get a little bit more. There we go, that's better. Alrighty. That actually should be more or less everything. It looks like we still have a little bit in some weirder spots, but otherwise I'm not too worried about it. So we didn't need to do this because this place is actually relatively safe, but it is kind of nice to have a little bit more of a peace of mind with these things. And it's good to just make sure I don't have to redo all this constantly, you know? But there we go. Ow. Third layer done. Got the appropriate plateaus done for me. Even started a little bit early by accident on a different one, so that's cool. It actually will look pretty neat when it is all said and done. But, yeah, so what we'll do is we'll go update these maps and we'll see how it is. So, yeah. Mainly it should just top one like that. There we go. It should do it. It might have a little bit more. There we go. That's pretty good. So yeah, you can already kind of start to see, and we'll update it again once more of the grass is filled in as well, so it's not all like dirt like that, but you can start to see how like the actual shapes are going to go into that, and then that, and then that, and then that, and then those will be like the bulk of it as well. There's some very finer ones the higher up you go, and then this is the body of water as well, so I wouldn't do anything. And then we'll have to partition that mountain at some point as well, completely. It'll take some time. I need to space that out. And we got a little bit more in some of these gaps that we need to do. But yeah, for the most part, we don't have too many left of those massive plateaus, and it looks nice. So now we're starting to get a real good sense of the just sheer scale of what the fuck we're doing. So again, it's going to be all rough shapes for the foreseeable future, but it is starting to become something. So we are definitely starting to see it scale up a little bit. It will be worth it in the end, but it's a matter of getting there right now is the hardest damn part, but we are doing good and we're making solid progress. You can see the flat bits from here, it looks pretty solid. See how it staggers, but it's nice, it's good. Definitely have done worse in the past historically, so it's a good start. Alright, that actually is gonna have to do it for me today. It's been nearly 3 hours, believe it or not, and it's all been building the mountain again, so we're gonna have to call it there. But it's day 1072, and yeah. Go ahead and pause the music here. There we go. But yeah, it's been good. So thank you everybody for watching today, and I might be back tomorrow, probably because it's Wednesday, but we'll see. But I should be back tomorrow. It's gonna be a little bit sketchy because I have to make sure I do my college work, but should be fine. I mean, yeah, sure, why not? Just let me end all this first, and I gotta go use the bathroom. But yeah, otherwise we can hang out a little bit. But yeah, it's